loves, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we have a brand new pick a card reading for you, and this one is all about if you are stuck in a pattern or cycle that just keeps repeating and you're like, why and how do I break free and how do I start manifesting what I actually desire, then that is this video. It's all about calling back your freedom, a message that's meant to set you free from whatever pattern or cycle that you might be stuck in. So first, I want you to think about what that pattern or cycle is for you. Just have it come to your mind. And then what you're going to do is you're going to choose one of these three different groups, whichever one you feel the most called towards or magnetized towards, because that is your intuition speaking to you. Everyone has intuition. You have it. It is powerful and it is always working. It is always on. And your intuition can tell which of these piles is resonating with you because your intuition reads energy. And there's going to be different energies and themes within each of these groups. And your intuition is able to tell which one resonates with you. That's why one of these groups might stand out to you amongst the rest. Or perhaps you're even drawn to two of the different groups. Your intuition knows exactly which messages are going to be relevant for you and which ones that you need to hear. So perhaps when you look at this video, perhaps there's one pile that just stands out to you. That's your intuition speaking to you. Then you'd go ahead and check the timestamps down below in the description box or in the comment box to find the timestamp so you can skip right ahead to your personal reading, all about that message that you need to hear that's going to set you free from that pattern or cycle that you're in. For those of you that are visually having a hard time tapping into one of the groups, another thing that you can do is you can take your hand and you can just gently hold it over each of the groups, sensing what you feel in that group. Perhaps there's going to be one that just stands out amongst the rest. Perhaps there's one that you're going to get a magnetic pull towards, or perhaps you're going to get a hot or cold sensation or some other just unexplainable feeling. And again, it is okay if you're attracted to multiple groups. That just means that there's multiple messages for you in today's video. So you go ahead and tune into all the ones that you feel intuitively drawn towards. And there's timestamps linked down below as always, so that you can skip right ahead to your personal reading. For those of you that like to choose with crystals and you like to see a close-up of them, over here on group number 1, we have this beautiful piece of amethyst. So if you find yourself drawn to the amethyst crystal, then group number 1 is going to be your pile that's going to reveal the truth that's going to set you free from whatever pattern or cycle that you might be in right now. Group number 2, we have this beautiful piece of Aqua Aura Quartz. So if you find yourself drawn to the Aqua Aura Quartz crystal, then group 2 is going to be your pile. And then over on group number 3, we have this really beautiful Sunset Aura Quartz. So if you find yourself drawn to the Sunset Aura Quartz crystal, or to group 3, then that is going to be your pile. So those are our different group options today. Of course, you can pause the video to take all the time in the world that you need to find out which pile your intuition is calling towards you the most or calling you to the most. And then, of course, there's timestamps linked down below, and I cannot wait to get into this reading for you. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group number 1s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, my group 1s, let's go ahead and see what comes up for you about the current pattern that you're in and how you are going to personally break free from it. So we have the 7 of Wands being reversed, and we also have the 5 of Swords being reversed. Ooh, okay, so there's a pattern here when it comes to not really being fully conscious of how our actions are leading us to results that maybe we don't really want. Okay, so this is when we feel like perhaps we're manifesting people in our life that are either belittling us, hurting us, taking action that all of a sudden we're just like, wait, why did you do that? I don't understand. This could be like people who you just can't really trust. And it seems like maybe you're a really trusting person, but maybe we keep attracting people that end up hurting us or end up betraying us, or even all of a sudden we feel really competitive with, or they end up tearing us down or putting us down, or they don't have our best interest at heart. So let's go ahead and reveal more about this pattern and why this is happening for you. So it kind of seems like there is either a lack of boundaries. Let's go ahead and see what really starts to come up here. So King of Swords, or King of Cups actually, being reversed. King of Cups showing up reversed. Our emotions, I feel like you're not quite fully listening to your intuition. That's why this pattern is showing up. Because you actually do have a very strong intuition. You actually have a strong inner knowing. I also am getting that you're an empath. And part of your empathic abilities is to really relate to people, to also really forgive people very easily. But one thing about the King of Cups, he did show up reversed. So for you, it's showing this disconnect from your intuition or from emotional balance that's either causing you to fall into these scenarios. But the King of Cups, when he's upright, here's your secret wisdom to overcome this and to break this pattern. The King of Cups, when he's upright, he's fully emotionally healed and balanced, but he also realizes that not everyone is going to have his best interest at heart. Not everyone is where he's at emotionally, and therefore we can't project our own emotional intelligence onto others. Because other people might not be as aware of it. They might not be as aware of other people's emotions as we are. And so the King of Cups, when he's upright, he realizes, okay, I'm going to listen to my internal emotions, but if somebody's showing me something externally, I'm not going to let my emotions all of a sudden waver and go and easily forgive again. Emotions can really help us be understanding and empathic. But when we remain strong in ourselves, that's where we're no longer wavering, no longer overly forgiving, no longer easily forgiving. There's something beautiful about being easily forgiving. But when we're easily forgiving towards people who are constantly betraying our trust, then we end up just becoming kind of like a doormat where people are just able to step on us or take advantage of us or other things like this. So the King of Cups, he's emotionally very aware, but he's also emotionally very strong, even though he is, leading with his heart, leading with his emotions. He's still very strong with who he allows to give his time and energy and love to. The King of Cups, as you can see, he has a full cup because he's very aware of I'm not going to let my emotions or my depth or my time and energy go to just anybody. He has emotional awareness and emotional boundaries. He is forgiving and he does forgive, but he also doesn't necessarily open up his cup back to just anybody again. He doesn't necessarily be emotionally free with just anybody again, because if they betray him a lot, then he says, okay, well, I have these boundaries because I need to protect my own emotions. I need to protect my own energy, my own time, because I don't want to just pour out my cup or have a leaky cup, right? We end up having a leaky cup where we're leaking all of our time, energy, and emotions and all of who we are if we don't have strong boundaries to keep that water in the cup, right? To keep all of our time and energy and emotions well kept in the cup. Imagine if the cup has a leaky bottom because we keep forgiving people and pouring out our time and energy to somebody who keeps just wasting it or betraying it or letting it go. So your secret to overcoming this pattern is to have a stronger cup and to really begin listening to your intuition. Rather than, because there's a difference actually between being very empathic and intuition. Intuition is this inner knowing, I deserve better. I know I shouldn't be treated like this. And I know that this is clearly a pattern that they could overcome, but are they actually working on overcoming it? Are they actually overcoming it? And if not, it's about having that boundary over our emotions to release and let go and have boundaries, really just to have boundaries. And so your key is to have boundaries to protect your time, energy, love, and emotions, and to also release what needs to be released, saying what needs to be said, having deep conversations, having the depth of conversations, and really beginning to see, is this just words or is there action to back it? Is there action to show that these words have meaning and value? And the ability to, again, walk away and release what no longer serves you, realizing that you do deserve better than that, and upholding those boundaries to keep that. Not being afraid to leap to a new lily pad if one of them is clearly unstable and continues to sink, right? Oh, I feel like that card really wants to come out. We also have speak truth, the ability to really speak your truth, to speak your mind, to have those deep conversations, to speak what you really think, how you really feel, and to open up with your words. That's another one of your keys, to open up with your words, to say what's really on your mind, to speak your full, authentic truth in order to set your voice free, in order to set yourself free as well. So let's see what else comes up for you as well here. I also feel like that card wants to come out. So let's see. We also have the Weaver. What I think as well for breaking this pattern is you see the sword with what you're weaved into. Sometimes we almost feel like it's hard to let something go because we're so invested into it. We've weaved so much into it, so much time, so much energy, so many memories. There's so many ties. And sometimes it's really hard to cut ties. But a weaver knows that if there's a lot of knots, if things are looking really knotted, sometimes we just have to cut ties with those knots and have a fresh beginning, right? See that sword there? It's okay to let things go, even if we're intertwined with them. Sometimes it's okay to cut ties. And sometimes it's the most important thing that we can do, to cut ties with situations that are no longer good for us. And again, they're just creating a lot of knots. We also have the card of manifest and the card of surrender. So you can still manifest what you desire. I feel like a lot of you maybe are attracting people in love that tend to either hurt you or they don't uphold their promises or things like this. And sometimes we need to surrender and let something like that go. We can still manifest true love. We can still manifest exactly what we desire, but we do need to have boundaries with certain people in order to make sure that we are manifesting what we want, right? If we have really loose boundaries on what we're trying to manifest, and we're saying like, oh, well, you know, I want to manifest this particular person, even though they don't treat me very good, but I want to manifest them, then the universe goes, okay, well, we're going to keep manifesting that situation back because, you know, there's somebody who, you know, that's just who they are. They're not showing up in what you want to manifest, but if you want to manifest that, then okay, we're going to continue having this pattern, right? Until we uphold those boundaries and we say, no, I want to manifest somebody like this. And if this person isn't showing up to that, if they're not meeting that, well, then I'm going to go on my journey and I'm going to surrender to what's showing and I'm going to release that and hop to a new lily pad to manifest what I do actually desire, right? But we have to get to the bottom of it by be willing to communicate, fully communicate, and really see what's being written under, you know, the words, because a lot of people, they can come up with like really pretty words, they can say like really pretty things, and it can sound all good and nice, but at the end of the day, are they really actually showing up and being that truth and embodying the truth of what they say? And if not, sometimes it's okay to cut ties, to hop to a new lily pad, to surrender to the situation and realize I can still manifest what I want, but maybe it's just going to show up in a different way than what I previously thought. Maybe it's going to show up being somebody else. Maybe it's going to show up with a different opportunity. Maybe it's going to look something different. Maybe I think it's this because I see the potential in this, but potential doesn't exude actuality and what is actually showing up in reality, right? So let's go ahead and get some more cards on this for you. Actually, I feel like going into our Astro Dice a little bit. So let's see, my group ones. What else do we have for you for your message to exit this pattern? So we have Neptune in Virgo. Neptune is actually the planet that talks about wearing rose-colored glasses and kind of living in a little bit of a fantasy. Virgo brings reality to the fantasy. Virgo is earth, and it brings reality. It says, okay, what is actually showing up? It's also ruled by Mercury, which is all about communication, right? So getting to the bottom of something, really being willing to see it for what it actually is, to be able to heal yourself, heal the pattern by really looking at it for what it is actually showing up as. Then being willing to hold boundaries around that. And the 11th house is realizing that there's so many other options out there, opening you up to the entire world, realizing that not everybody's going to show up in the same way. And there are people who match exactly what you desire. There are people who are going to match your energy, friends, lovers, partners, all types of people who will support you for being you and show up authentically, perfectly as themselves. and they won't give you empty promises or stab you in the back or other things like that. But we do need to have boundaries of saying, okay, I'm no longer willing to tolerate that. I'm willing to release and let it go, even if that means I have to be alone for a little bit. But I'd rather be alone than be with somebody who treats me negatively or keeps me in this cycle. We have to uphold those boundaries first before the universe is even going to be able to manifest us something that is equal to those new boundaries, right? Because if we have leaky boundaries, we're just going to keep leaking in more circumstances that we didn't want. But if we have proper boundaries, we're only holding space to let in what actually resonates with us, what's actually going to be good with us. So let's dive into some more cards here. Let's go ahead and see what we get here for you. Any last messages for my group ones, all about the pattern that you have and how to break that pattern and how it's going to set you free. So we also have healing. So it's time for your own inner healing, to release, to let go, and to allow space for you to heal. The only way to heal as well is to first take that step, that you have to take the bold step, and then give yourself space to heal, and you will heal from it. We have new beginnings. So this is going to lead you to a brand new beginning where you're no longer manifesting those negative things in your life, negative people in your life. And then we have organization. Things are going to be so much more organized. I also feel like this is you manifesting people that are upholding what they say. This is planning out what you actually want. Things will now come to you so easily that match what you've planned. But we have to be organized, right? Like, let's say that we say, like, okay, we're going to organize our books all in colored order. But then all of a sudden, somebody's putting the books on the shelves in the wrong order, and we're just like, oh, okay, I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you. It's just like, no, eventually we're going to have to get to a point where we uphold this boundary. We say, no, these books are going to be in this order. It's going to show up like this. The same thing for your love life, for your friends. If people are showing up in chaos and they're just always with a chaotic energy, always unpredictable, always doing things that are opposite of what they say, eventually we have to get to a point where we're like, no, I'm going to fire that person. They're no longer good for this company, this energy, this space for myself. Eventually we have to come back to, okay, what did I plan to do? Who actually matches that? Who upholds their purpose, their job in my life? Hopefully that analogy is making sense there. But my group number ones, that is what we have for you, all about the message that is meant to set you free. I really feel like your biggest thing is about having boundaries and truly upholding those boundaries and being willing to let go and release anything that doesn't match those boundaries. Being willing to have a new beginning, to heal, and to plan out and get clear on what exactly it is that you desire, what exactly your boundaries are, and being able to uphold those to have everything stay organized and no longer allow in chaotic energy or things that do not serve you. So again, that is what we have here for you. My group number ones, I hope it resonated with you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number twos, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about your current pattern and how you can set yourself free from it. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, my group twos, let's see your current pattern and how you can break free from it. Okay, so we have the Tower, the Ace of Pentacles, and the 10 of Cups. Ooh, your current pattern. There's something where we're needing to come back to the foundation of what we're building, the actual foundation of it, and watering it so that it can come to its full fruition. The 10 of Cups symbolizes something emotionally that we're wanting to achieve and somewhere emotionally that we want to be. It also symbolizes a lot of success, but the secret about the 10 of Cups is that the success comes through going through storms, going through rainy spurts, going through a lack of clarity, even getting lost a little bit, or going through challenges or obstacles or things like that. That's symbolized by the rain, right? But it's the rain and the storm that actually waters the seeds and allows them to sprout and grow, and eventually leads to the rainbow, the new sunny skies, and the blossoming of exactly what it is that you asked for. So actually, your current pattern that you're manifesting right now, I feel like you're manifesting for one, material success, and there's probably something really big that you're desiring to achieve materially. It could be a very particular thing that you're just like, I really want to get there. I really want to achieve this. I really want to manifest this particular thing. And maybe your current pattern is manifesting storms, manifesting hardship, manifesting challenges, manifesting things that seem to kind of just like break apart, or even just continually not lead you where you want. You're like, okay, when is it going to happen? How am I going to get there? And the thing that I'm actually feeling for you is the truth that's going to set you free is learning from any challenge that comes your way. And instead of looking at that challenge like, this challenge is just standing in my way. This is another random thing that's standing in my way, or this is another piece of resistance. And maybe you're looking at, how can I overcome the resistance? How can I stop resistance from happening in my life? But instead, if you reframe that and you look at it as, what is this teaching me? How is this helping me grow higher? How is this helping me build my tower towards my success? When you reframe everything that you're going through and look at it in that way, all of a sudden you're going to gain all the epiphanies, all the deep wisdom that you need, that has been divinely set up for you to achieve your goal. A lot of the times, whenever we set out an intention and then a lot of resistance shows up, or setbacks or failures or challenges show up, a lot of the times we look at that as like, maybe the universe doesn't want me to go after this goal. Maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe it's too big for me. Maybe it's too hard to achieve. However, that could not be further from the truth of what's actually going on. A lot of the times, there is divine orchestration. In fact, every single time, there's divine orchestration to help us reach that goal. Similarly to the 10 of Cups, the reason why there's a rainbow literally symbolizes that the rain and the storm needed to come first in order to water the seeds, the intentions, the ideas that we've had, in order to water them and nourish them, for them to sprout and come to life and blossom into the fruits of our labor. What you're going through right now is actually divine initiation. And in fact, it's not necessarily a pattern that you need to break free from, more than it is actually the universe trying to teach you something. And I know sometimes that can be hard to hear, especially when we keep going through something. It's just like, well, what is the lesson? Like, why does the universe keep teaching me this? Why can't I just have what I want? But it's actually in the becoming, it's in the journey of getting there, that we gain all the divine wisdom and we become the exact person that we need to become in order to achieve what we want. So for example, to paint this picture a little bit deeper, because this is going to give you all the keys and all the epiphanies to achieve your desire, because you actually can do it, okay? So our subconscious mind knows exactly what our current limitations are. Our subconscious mind knows exactly how to get to our goal, and it knows exactly what is standing in our way. Therefore, when we set out an intention, let's say that you're like, I want to be a successful business owner. But let's say you don't know anything about business yet, but you want to get there. You want to be the successful business owner. You want to be that leader. But let's say you also have issues with leading. You don't really know how to lead. Maybe you have resistance when it comes to speaking your truth or speaking your honest opinion to people. Maybe you're afraid of hurting other people. Maybe you're really empathic, but you just really want to be that top business owner. Your subconscious mind knows that that's standing in the way. Your subconscious mind can already see and feel that. Therefore, in your external reality, all of a sudden it's going to highlight everywhere where you don't speak up, everywhere where you don't actually lead, everywhere in your reality is going to get highlighted. And it's highlighted because all of a sudden you have this deep desire, and it's highlighting all the resistance that's already in the way. It doesn't mean that you can't overcome that resistance. It's actually getting highlighted so that you do learn and you do overcome it. So let's say all of a sudden you go to get your nails done and they do it in the wrong shape, but yet you're too shy and too nice to say anything, so you kind of swallow it. But then at the end of the day, you're still feeling really agitated about it, and it's really showing up in just being like a situation that slapped you in the face, and you're just looking at your nails and you're like, oh, I hate this. It's showing that resistance because it's like, hey, we need to learn how to speak up. We need to learn how to be a leader. We need to learn how to say what's on our mind. We need to learn how to actually speak our authentic truth and what we actually want to say, right? So it's going to highlight everything like that. Let's say your friend oversteps one of your boundaries, but you're like, you just grind your teeth and you don't say anything. That's going to be highlighted again because you're meant to step up into your leadership position, right? I'm using small little examples here because a lot of the times it shows up in these small little ways in order to prepare us for the big ways. And then sometimes also big things end up happening because that's also another way of our subconscious laying out scenarios for us to learn what we need to learn in order to achieve what we want to achieve, right? But a lot of the times it can be hard to see what the actual lesson is when we're currently in the thick of it and it just feels like a big, hard lesson. So what I want you to do and what's going to set you free is to ask yourself, okay, what is my goal? Who do I need to become in order to achieve that goal? What are the current situations in my life that I keep getting resistance around? And how might my dream self, who already has their goal, view my current circumstance differently? All the areas where resistance is showing up in my life, let's say it's like getting your nails done or starting that business idea, taking action on it, all these different things, everywhere where you're getting resistance. Then ask, how would my dream self actually handle this situation? Would they have a completely different viewpoint? Would they all of a sudden say what's actually on their mind? Would they take the proper action? Would they let go of fear? Would they let go of doubt? Would they let go of the resistance? And would they just be a different way? Because that'll give you the answer of who you need to become and the lessons that you need to learn and the person you need to embody in order to actually achieve your desire. Your desire is divinely, literally meant for you, but it's going to require growth and learning to get there. Every single path does. Every single path in the world, no matter what it is you choose, requires some form of learning and growth along the path to attaining it, right? And sometimes that growth and learning is super easy and we achieve our desires super fast because we were already super in alignment with it. But other times we desire something where there is some growth, but it literally doesn't mean you can't achieve it. In fact, when you grow in those ways, it develops you into such a better, more amazing version of yourself where you're all of a sudden becoming and defining into your dream self. Refining, that's what I meant to say. Refining into your dream self. This is your refinement process of becoming who you need to be in order to achieve your desire. Okay? Maybe that person is going to uphold strong boundaries with who they let into their life. Maybe they're going to uphold strong boundaries in their career or to get their vision to come to life, right? Maybe they have strong values that they uphold and they take action to uphold them, even if it means that it's going to delay them more, even if it means it's going to take a bit more time. Maybe your dream self who's living your dream life has certain boundaries and certain values that they're like, yeah, I would do this and I would do this because that's going to make it perfect. That's going to make it actually in alignment rather than just getting some quick win or something like this, right? This is your key. So this is what's going to set you free, is literally reframing what you're going through, realizing that it's divine resistance, it's divine delays, making you into the most refined dream version of you. And now's your time to get wild, to do things differently than you've ever done them, because in order to get where you want to go, you have to become somebody new. So this is your invitation to no longer be who you were or who you have been. Rather, it's your time to get a little bit more wild, break out of the old barriers and boundaries that you've confined yourself in, and think, who is my dream self who's living my dream life? And in what ways have they set themselves free that I'm still holding myself back in? And as you do that, woo, you're gonna be able to speak your mind, you're gonna be able to be strong, take action, act on instincts, become who you truly are. Because I actually feel, when you think about a dog and a wolf, the dog is the one who's domesticated and loyal to what everyone else has told him to be and has been trained and programmed by, their family, their owners, things like that. Whereas the wolf represents the wild one who's just coming back to their own internal self, their own internal instincts of who they naturally are on the inside, and takes away all that programming that has suppressed who they actually are. So when you think about who's your dream self, who are you actually, when you peel behind the layers of that and realize that, oh, maybe I'm somebody who I love to express myself. I love to live passionately. I love to do this. I love to do that. This is who I am down inside before society or family or all these other people told me who I should be, right? When you uncover who you really are, that's going to be your secret to overcoming all these patterns in your life. That is going to be your secret to achieving your biggest soul's desire. And let's see what else we get here for you. We also have, it's time to withdraw. So withdraw from your old things that you used to do, like the old action you used to take. Withdraw and go within and realize, who am I really? So before taking action, before doing something, ask, who am I really? Take time to reflect on that. And then the wildling, it's time to set yourself free. Look at the scissors on the hair. It's like taking away who you used to be, deciding to do a big transformation and getting wild. Get wild and the wildling. This is your time. You have so many cards coming up talking about letting your true self free. And maybe you need to withdraw to find and ask, who is my true self? Who am I really underneath it all? Who have I repressed? What are all the aspects of me I repressed? And here's your key to understanding that. I'm going to give you another massive key here. Whatever qualities that you admire in other people are usually qualities, or in fact, all the time. In fact, if you ever admire a quality in somebody else and you're like, oh my God, that's so inspiring. I wish I could be like that. I love that this person is this way. It is actually all the time a aspect of you that you have deep down inside that's waiting to get activated and turned on. That's why you resonate with it. That's why it all of a sudden activates this internal inspiration within you, is because you actually already have that within you, and your internal self is getting inspired by it because it's like, that's who I really am. I'm resonating with that because you already have it within you. That's another secret. So let's go ahead and see any last other cards here. And we're also going to get into our Astro Dice to get any last messages for you, all about the message that's meant to set you free to end a cycle that you no longer want to be in. So again, if you've been getting a cycle of like lessons, a cycle of hardships, challenges, setbacks, the way you're going to set yourself free is to realize that those have been divinely meant for you. And when you can ask, how is this actually serving me? How is this proof I'm going to get to my goal? How is this supporting me to get my goal? Flip the script. That's going to add new inspiration for you. Anything that you're inspired by is divinely meant for you. That's why you resonate with it, because it sparks something in your soul that your soul resonates with, right? And let's see. We also have authenticity. The more you can be authentically yourself. We already had these messages already coming up. So this Spirit is just repeating everything that was so divinely meant for you. Your key is to follow and evoke all the aspects of you that you're inspired by in others, that you're like, oh my God, I love that this person just speaks so freely. I love that they're so authentically themselves. Well, that's because you're meant to be that. That's because you already have that within you. So now it's time for you to become fully and authentically fully yourself, to allow yourself to get wild, to break out of these old paradigms and boxes that you've been boxed into, where you've maybe withdrawn and said, oh, I need to repress that part of me because other people once made fun of it, or other people didn't like it, or society doesn't like it, or I'm supposed to be like this in order to be accepted and loved. No. We're going to break out of all of that. We're going to become our most authentic selves. We're going to allow our voice to get wild and free. We're going to allow ourselves to become more ourselves, and we can refine that as it goes and say, okay, how does my dream self actually act? What are their boundaries? How do they uphold themselves? What are their values? And as you become that, as you refine into that, all of a sudden your dreams, inevitable, you're going to be fully in alignment with them, and they will be manifesting on autopilot. I actually have a brand new program that's coming out called Codes of Abundance, by the way. It is going to go so deep into exactly this topic, in fact. So if you're still just like, okay, how do I actually do this? How do I actually manifest what I want? The Codes of Abundance course is literally going to give you all of the tools and epiphanies and everything that you need to manifest exactly what you desire. It is the most amazing program I've ever created, in fact. So there's going to be a sign up link if you want to sign up for the waitlist down below, just in case it's not out yet when you're watching this. Or if you're watching this much later, it's probably already out. Link is down below for it. You can click to join and all of that good stuff. But let's go ahead and dive into your Astro Dice to get any last information for you. So we have the North Node in Gemini in the 7th house. The North Node is your destiny and who you're meant to become. When we're talking about the 7th house, this is important partnerships, people that we are going to get in touch with. And it can also represent your most authentic self, in fact, because it's very connected to the Lovers in Tarot, which also represents your authenticity and being willing to be seen for all of who you are, to speak your authentic truth, and also realizing that sometimes when we become our most authentic self, people who don't resonate with us will fall away, but the people who do resonate with us are going to come into our lives, and it's going to be the deepest, closest, most amazing friendships and partnerships we've ever been able to manifest, because it was built on authenticity and truth. And that's what Gemini is also connected to, right? So your whole purpose, The reason why these lessons are coming up is because you're on a self-discovery journey of who you really are to become the most inspiring version of you, who's authentically yourself and who creates the most inspiring version of themselves. Because guess what? When you are your most authentic self, you will be the person you're most inspired by, because you're going to resonate with you on a whole new level. You're going to be like, oh my God, I love who I am because I'm just being all of who I want to be. And that's dang inspiring, right? And the things that you're inspired by are keys to unlocking and discovering who you actually are deep down inside. That is going to be your key to manifesting everything that you want, whether that's financial success, success in love. In fact, I'm getting a little bit of both here, that those of you who chose this pile, you're wanting financial success, material success, job success, career success, and perhaps the manifestation of something really big, such as like your dream home or something like this. And then also I'm getting like family or having somebody around you that you really love and feel so yourself with and so accepted with, and creating like the most beautiful love and loving situation in your life. So I'm getting a little bit of both of those, and that's your key to manifesting both of those things. That is your key, being authentically yourself. Whew, my group number 2s, that is what we have for you, all about your special message today. Thank you so much for joining me here. That is the message that is meant to set you free, and I hope it gave you those insights that you needed at this time. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group 3s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your divine message that's meant to set you free from any pattern or cycle that you might be in. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, my group 3s, let's go ahead and see what this pattern or cycle is and how the universe is going to help you break free from it. So 3 of Swords being reversed, first and foremost, this can be where we tend to either overthink, or sometimes we're even scared of facing the actual truth of something. Like maybe knowing the truth of something might even scare us. We're worried about it. We also have Page of Swords. Oh my gosh, all of this is in the mind. There's a lot of things talking about the mind. There's a cycle or pattern that you have within your own mind that is going to be your secret. And 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands, 3 of Swords, and Page of Swords. So 3s are our creativity. I feel like you have a very creative mind. But also with a creative mind, sometimes it can work for us or against us. Because we can see all the different options, we can see all the different things. 3 of Wands is wanting to expand into something new, wanting to expand into something more. 3 of Swords, again, is when we're kind of overthinking, sometimes even scared of facing the truth. Sometimes we're caught in a storm of our own mind where we overthink, we might even procrastinate, we might even hurt ourselves from our own mind and stop ourselves from moving forward because we overthink something or become too judgmental of it, too judgmental of ourselves. Perhaps the voice in your mind has been really critical lately. Maybe we have a really strong inner critic and it's been holding us back. Maybe there's a lot of like thoughts that ruminate in our mind that really don't serve us. And the Page of Swords showing up here too. I really feel like your key that's meant to set you free is to align your thoughts in the direction of your desire, deliberately, consciously shifting your thoughts. And it also comes through shifting your belief systems, actually. So our belief systems are something that ends up creating and manifesting our external reality because of something in our brain known as our RAS, which is our reticular activating system. Whenever you believe something to be true, or whenever you're focused on something, okay, so if you're focused on failure, or what if this, or what if that, or if we're focused on like the negative possible outcomes of a situation or something like this, our reticular activating system is a part of our brain that is responsible for finding proof in our reality and finding evidence to support what we currently believe or what we're currently focused on. So if you've ever noticed that there was like a time where all of a sudden you're just like, oh my God, this is my dream car, like a white Tesla is my dream car. And then all of a sudden you're driving and all of a sudden you just see white Teslas literally everywhere. And you're like, whoa, I never used to see them before. I never even used to notice them. But all of a sudden when I defined it as my dream car, all of a sudden I'm literally seeing it everywhere. That's your reticular activating system in action. It finds evidence or proof of what you're already focusing on or what your belief systems are. So let's say your belief system is I'm unworthy of love. Your reticular activating system is actually going to look for evidence in your environment or even filter situations or things in your environment to support that. So let's say somebody gives you or just comments on what you're wearing. But let's say you have a belief system of like, I'm unworthy, people already don't like me. And then somebody comments on what you're wearing. They're just like, oh, like interesting black jeans you chose to wear today. And maybe they meant it in a way of just like, whoa, those are like really interesting and cool. Like I've never seen jeans like that before. But because your belief system is like, I'm not worthy, people don't like me, that comment, you're actually going to maybe take it in and read it as, oh, that person was insulting me. They were like insulting my pants. They were insulting what I'm wearing, all these different things, right? Our reticular activating system will filter the world to reflect our beliefs and what we're focused on. And so for you, your divine message that's meant to set you free is to begin focusing your attention towards what you do want. Begin focusing it deliberately and allowing your RAS to shift its focus towards what you do want to show more of in your life, the direction you do want your mindset to grow in. I really feel like what's going to set you free is defining what you want to focus on, creating new belief systems for yourself, such as, I am worthy of love, and repeating that, looking at that and repeating it. And every time that your RAS is finding evidence to support your previous beliefs, say, no, I'm coming back to my new belief. I'm focused on, you know what, I am worthy of love. I am, successful. I am positive. My mindset is positive. And then begin, focusing your awareness towards that, cultivating and thinking thoughts that are in alignment with that new belief. And the more you consciously shift yourself in that direction, the more you are actually going to begin tuning your RAS to shift its focus and begin building those new belief systems and begin shifting towards all of that. In fact, I actually have a brand new program that is coming out called Codes of Abundance that goes deep into these topics. So if you really want to know how to do mindset work and how to really shift your RAS and do all those things, I highly recommend signing up for the waitlist of that if you are interested in it, if it feels like right to you, if you feel called towards that, because we're going to go so deep in this exact topic. But I really feel like your pattern that Spirit is bringing up is the pattern of the inner critic, and being able to set yourself free to be able to focus on what you want. And then all of a sudden, your RAS's focus is tuning to like divine wisdom, divine insight, positive thoughts, new ideas about how you can make things happen, right? Brand new ideas from the cosmos coming into your mind and being like, oh, I can solve this problem by doing this. I really feel like if you're stuck in a problem where you're just like, how do I solve this? How do I achieve this? How do I overcome this? And maybe you're like confused about something, divine wisdom is going to come through the more that you tune your RAS towards solutions come to me easily and freely. I am so smart. The universe is always guiding me, in fact. The universe guides me to the perfect solutions for everything. All these things. As you begin to tell yourself that, your RAS is going to look for it in your environment, and all of a sudden you're going to realize it was there all along. So we also have higher perspective. Higher perspectives are literally going to come through. And the more you shift to a higher perspective, rather than looking at things the way that they are right now, but instead taking a higher bird's eye view and saying, okay, how could they be? What are the possibilities here? The possibilities are in fact endless. There's magic all around me. I'm the creator of my reality, and I'm calling back that creative energy now by choosing to shift my focus to align my thoughts and my beliefs towards what's going to support my dream life, what's going to support me in my reality. And even though it might seem like you're telling yourself an airy-fairy type of story because you're just like, well, I have so much proof that the universe has always been against me. I have so much proof that blah, 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 blah. That's only because your RAS was tuned to focusing on that. And it filters out evidence of the contrary. But when you shift your focus towards, you know what, I am abundant, I am worthy, ideas flow to me easily and freely, I'm always in alignment, good luck happens to me all the time. Even if it sounds airy-fairy at first, the more that you shift yourself to that focus, the more that you embody the feeling of that focus and what it feels like to live in that energy, it's going to tune your subconscious mind and your RAS to look for evidence of that. And the more evidence that you find of that, you're going to solidify that new belief system and realize that that was true all along as well. Whatever you believe to be true, your reality is going to filter to show you more of that truth. So it's time to be versatile and shift how you regularly talk to yourself by just consciously doing it without any judgment. Even if old thoughts come back up, it's kind of like, oh, okay, hi there, old thought. We're going to shift that and be versatile and go towards this new thought. We're going to move towards the new thought because let's have fun with that, right? Let's go in that direction. So you're just going to be consciously aware of those things. No need to get upset if any of the old thoughts come through, but just consciously shift. Consciously shift. And let's see what else we get here for you, my group 3s. We also have the seeker and share wisdom. So also the things that we talk about with others end up becoming a focus for our RAS. So when we can talk with others about, you know what? I'm learning about this new positive mindset thing, this new thing like this. Oh my gosh. Then our RAS is going to help bounce off those ideas, look for more evidence of it, the more that we can also seek out evidence of it. Go on a new seeking journey, seeking out evidence that I'm so worthy. You can even seek in your past and look for breadcrumbs that you've been worthy all along. Look for breadcrumbs that the universe has been supporting you all along. Look for breadcrumbs that your highest dreams and desires have been meant for you all along. Look and seek for those in your past. Realize that you already are a powerful manifester. Seek for evidence of that in your past and seek for evidence of it in your present moment. And you're always going to find whatever it is that you decide to seek for. Seek for the positive thoughts. Seek for the silver lining. Whatever you seek for, you shall find, right? So don't seek for reasons why your success isn't happening. Don't seek for reasons why to overthink or worry. Seek for reasons why you're inevitably going to be so successful, why your dreams are meant for you. Seek all of that out, right? Then that's what ye shall find. So let's go ahead and find out some more information, whatever Spirit wants to say to leave us off with. We also have health, we have trust, and we have organization popping through. So I really feel like you are reorganizing your mind. You're reorganizing your mentality. And as you do, new epiphanies are going to come to you. You're going to be able to trust yourself so much more and evoke trust within the universe and your divine path. And also, it's going to be so good for your entire well-being. As you shift your mind towards becoming a garden of love, a garden of abundance, all of a sudden your entire well-being, physically, mentally, and emotionally, is going to be so abundant, healthful, and flourishing. That is your answer to exit that old pattern. And again, if you want to know more about the RAS, my program Codes of Abundance goes so deep into it and how to reprogram it and really how to take control and be the master architect of your reality. So let's go ahead and dive into our Astro Dice to get any last information for you. So we have Saturn, the planet of discipline, in Virgo in the 4th house. So this is about setting a foundation and a practice of discipline. So doing something daily and creating a daily routine of like, okay, daily, I am going to say my new belief systems. I'm going to write them out and I'm going to read them out daily. And I'm going to remind myself of them 3 times a day, right? That's like staying disciplined. Virgo is very connected to Mercury, which is all about writing and rehearsing things mentally. It's also about creating a solid foundation on which you can build. The 4th house is your solid foundation that you're building upon. So it's creating a solid routine, something solid that you can follow that's going to keep your mind moving in the direction that you want it to, and also having patience with yourself along the way, right? Patience and understanding, and guiding yourself in the direction that you desire to go, seeking for evidence, looking in your past, being like, okay, where's the evidence been there all along? The more that you seek it, the more you will find it, the more you tune your RAS to look for it. That is your reading all about how you can exit the current pattern or cycle that you might be in right now and how you can set yourself free. This is all about setting your mind free, my group number 3s. And you are in control of your mind. And the more that you wire in seeking evidence that you are so worthy, that you're so capable, that your dreams and desires are meant for you, and the more you seek a positive mindset, the more you will actually find it and build that foundation, and the more it's going to become your new autopilot state of being. And well-being is going to be your natural state, because that's what you've programmed yourself to be. So that is your reading right here, my beautiful group number 3s. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye.